When you check your bank balance, it's comforting to picture physical bills resting inside a heavy steel vault with your name on it. If you actually opened that vault door, however, you'd find empty space. 92% of the world's money exists solely as digital entries on computer servers. Only about 8% of the global supply is physical cash. Currency works because of a collective agreement. A $100 bill contains roughly 12 cents worth of material. It pays for rent and settles debts because we all agree it represents value. Money relies on a shared social contract. Its worth is defined by its constant movement and the trust we place in the institutions that manage it. Early societies relied on barter, which required a double coincidence of wants. If you had shoes and I needed a haircut, we could only trade if our needs perfectly overlapped, a flaw that frequently brought commerce to a halt. Standardized coins solved the barter problem around 700 BC. In Lydia, merchants began minting currency from electrum, a natural gold and silver alloy. This allowed people to carry wealth in their pockets for the first time. As trade expanded, merchants in China began trading paper receipts to avoid hauling heavy metal coins. They realized that moving a promise of value was more efficient than moving the physical weight of the coins themselves. This abstraction established the foundation of modern finance. Value became a transferable promise, allowing the economy to scale beyond the limitations of physical materials. In 1971, the world moved away from the gold standard toward fiat currency. Backed by the full faith and credit of the government, money began moving at the speed of data. Banks adopted early computing to track these digital records. Magnetic tape reels and large servers became tools for managing a growing network of financial promises. This digital environment allows commercial banks to expand the money supply through fractional reserve banking. When you deposit $1,000, the bank holds a small fraction in reserve and immediately lends out the rest. Someone else uses that loan to buy a car or renovate a house, and that money eventually lands in another bank. A bank creates new money every time it issues a loan based on a promise to repay. This ripple effect causes a single initial deposit to support multiple loans across the system. Commercial banks function as a circulatory system. They multiply capital to ensure money is constantly flowing into homes and businesses. We can track this capital as it travels through the circular flow. It lands in a household as wages, which people then spend on consumer goods at places like the grocery store. This dollar transfers to a firm, where the business uses it to produce goods and pay operating costs. To maintain production, firms hire labor and pay that money back to the household as income. The cycle repeats, connecting every individual's labor to the goods they consume. The government diverts capital from this loop through taxes. They pull from both households and firms to fund public infrastructure. That value is pumped back into the economy through government spending, providing the services and infrastructure that support the firms and households in the loop. In this system, production, income, and spending are three different sides of the same continuous process. Central banks manage this loop by acting as a thermostat for the economy. Higher interest rates cool the economy and fight inflation by making borrowing more expensive. Lowering those rates encourages spending and investment, heating up the circular flow. This digital network powers every paycheck, car loan, and corporate office. The entire global system depends on the movement of these digital units. These mechanics determine the interest rate on your mortgage and the growth of your retirement account. Your daily financial life is a direct result of how these institutions choose to move capital. The number on your banking app is just a digital record of your position in this global flow. It reflects your active participation in a massive, interconnected system that determines the movement of value across the world.